On the 22nd of August, 1911, an artist visited the Louvre Museum in Paris and headed straight into a room called the Salon Carré, hoping to see the Mona Lisa, a painting by the legendary Leonardo da Vinci. To his disappointment, the painting was missing from its usual spot. He assumed it was taken into an inner chamber for cleaning and asked a security guard to help fetch it. The security guard searched the whole museum for the painting, but to no avail. After hours of searching which yielded no result, they called the police. Police officers arrived at the scene to join in the search, and shortly after, an officer stumbled on the glass frame that housed the Mona Lisa in a stairwell. However, the painting was nowhere to be found. It instantly dawned on the museum management that they had been robbed, and the perpetrator successfully carried out one of the biggest heists in art history. That evening, the museum publicly announced the theft, saying, "The Mona Lisa is gone. Thus far, we haven't a clue as to who might have committed this crime." Detectives arrived in droves to collect fingerprints, evidence, and statements from possible witnesses to the crime. Flyers were circulated to notify the public of the theft and to seek their help in finding it. A stop and search was conducted on vehicles and pedestrians, all in a bid to locate the missing painting. Unfortunately, the police could not find the thief despite the intensive search and media frenzy. Today, we will examine the only instance in history where the Mona Lisa was successfully stolen and surprisingly brought about the painting's fame. The Mona Lisa is a 200-pound portrait painting made by iconic Italian artist Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci began working on the portrait in 1503 and continued painting until 1517. Even though the person's identity in the painting is shrouded in mystery, it is widely believed to be noblewoman Lisa Gherardini, the wife of Francesco del Giocondo. At the time of the theft, the painting was barely famous, but was considered highly valuable because it was unique and painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Who could have sneaked at this valuable and relatively large portrait out of a highly frequented museum without anyone noticing? This was the question the police tried to provide answers to. During the investigation, detectives turned their attention to Guillaume Apollinaire, a poet who once attempted to burn down the Louvre Museum. He was named the prime suspect in the theft after police discovered that he had previously stolen 2 ancient statuettes from the museum with the help of his secretary. He was taken into custody in September of 1911, where he denied stealing the Mona Lisa, but confessed to the previous thefts, naming his friend, Pablo Picasso, as an accomplice. He told the police that Picasso, who was also an artist, had purchased the statuettes from him to use as a model for his paintings. Picasso was picked up for questioning about the missing portrait, but both men were released because the police did not have any evidence proving they committed the theft. The investigation quickly hit a dead end. 2 years passed without the police finding any answers to the disappearance of the portrait. Everyone was starting to lose hope in recovering the painting until December of 1913, when an Italian art dealer, Alfredo Gheri, received a letter from a man, Vincenzo Perugia, who claimed he had stolen the Mona Lisa in 1911 and wanted to sell it to him. Gheri was at the crossroads on what to do with the information, so he sorted the opinion of Giovanni Poggi, the director of Uffizi Gallery. The latter advised him to invite the alleged thief to Italy so that they could assess the painting. Less than a week after, Gheri and Poggi met Perugia at a hotel he was staying in, and true to his words, he produced the Mona Lisa, wrapped in red silk. They agreed to pay him 500,000 lira for the painting. However, this was a ruse. They only wanted to buy time to test the painting for authenticity. The test confirmed the painting was, in fact, the original Mona Lisa, and they reported him to the police afterwards. The police arrested Perugia on the 11th of December 1913. During the interrogation, he disclosed the intricacies of the theft and the reason behind his actions. Vincenzo Peruggia was a former employee of the Louvre who was hired to install glass frames around all the portraits in the museum for protection. While doing his job, he observed several Italian paintings displayed in the museum. Out of curiosity, he read a book discussing the stealing of Italian art by Napoleon during the wars. Being a native of Italy, the presence of Italian masterpieces in a French museum didn't sit well with him. He vowed to steal at least one of the paintings back on behalf of his country. Police believed he entered the museum on the evening of the 20th of August, where he hid until morning, but on the contrary, he claimed he entered the museum through the front door at around 7 a.m. on the 21st of August. He said he was wearing a white smock which all the museum employees wore, allowing him to blend into the workers. He then headed into the Salon Carré and waited for everyone to leave before he lifted the smallest Italian painting he could find off the wall. There are claims he might have had help with removing the painting off the wall because of its heavy weight, but this was never proven. He carried it to a stairwell where he removed the case and frame he had installed on the artwork, then placed it under his arm, covering it with his white smock. He headed to a locked door which he had secured a copy of its key, but it didn't work. He frantically removed the doorknob with a screwdriver, but before he could step out, he was approached by an employee. He thought his game was up, but surprisingly, the employee offered to use his key to open the door for Peruggia. Peruggia told the employee the doorknob was broken, and the employee let him go, thinking he was a fellow employee. He initially kept the portrait hidden under a false bottom of a trunk in his apartment for 2 years while he waited patiently for everyone to forget it was missing. His plan would have worked if Gary hadn't decided to blow the whistle on him. Peruggia had thought he would get a reward for returning the painting to Italy, but got arrested instead. Opinions have differed on the reason for Peruggia's actions, but mainly 2 theories have been laid out explaining them. Peruggia claimed he stole the painting because of his patriotism and dedication to Italy. Commenting on his reaction to reading the book on Napoleon's exploitation of Italy's art, Peruggia said, "From that point, a desire was born in me, and I felt indignant, given my pride in Italy, and it came into my mind to be able to give one of those paintings back." This supposed intention has been questioned, seeing as he attempted to sell it when he could have easily donated it to a museum in Italy. The other faction of the public believed the patriotism claim was simply an excuse to justify theft. They believe he had stolen the painting for monetary benefits. Peruggia could have proudly returned the painting to Italy since he claimed he was doing the right thing for his homeland. Instead, he took selfish steps by hiding the painting for 2 years and attempting to sell it to an Italian at a cost. Letters he wrote to his father were also showcased to prove his money-driven motive for stealing the portrait. One of the letters, dated the 22nd of December, indicated that he had set the wheels in motion to make a fortune in Paris. The other letter was from 1912 and read, "I am making a vow for you to live long and enjoy the prize that your son is about to realize for you and for all our family." The words fortune and prize clearly suggested proceedings from sales of the painting because he made no other strides that could fetch him a large amount of money. Peruggia was charged for the theft of the Mona Lisa, and during the trial, the court found his argument of patriotism convincing. The court put this claim into consideration and observed leniency in his sentencing. Peruggia was sentenced to 1 year and 15 days in jail, but only served 7 months before he was released. After he was released from jail, he joined the Italian army, proving his patriotism for the country, and even participated in World War I. The management of the Louvre Museum may have felt terrible about the loss of the Mona Lisa when it was stolen, but with the fame it brought the painting made them feel otherwise. In the first 2 days that the Mona Lisa was returned to the Louvre, at least 120,000 people visited the museum just to catch a glimpse of it. The painting now stands as one of the most valuable artworks in history, now worth over $900 million. It remains in the Louvre today, Sitting in bulletproof glass, it seems the museum's management isn't giving history a chance to repeat itself. Presently, about 8 million people visit the Louvre yearly to see the famous Mona Lisa. What are your views on Perugia's intentions? Do you think he was a man who loved his birth country so dearly that he would commit such a crime? Or was he seeking to attain financial freedom? Please leave us your views in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Likewise, turn on notifications so you never miss a video.